Hello, good morning. How are you today? My name is Praise For and welcome to PFthinks, episode 127 from Praise For International Studio, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm super excited to be coming your way again this morning. I want to say thank you so much for keeping staying awake. For those of you in Lagos, Nigeria, and for those of you in West Africa, and for those of you in Europe, and those of you in North America and Asia, thank you so much for waiting earnestly for this show. Thank you for everything. Like I always say, no matter the technical issues that we have, we will have the show. So thank you so much once again for joining me. Okay, I'm super excited to be coming your this morning. How are you doing, and how is everything with you? Now, we have been looking at releasing your personal power. Everyone has got personal power, and you have got the personal power. What you do with your personal power is what makes the difference. Whether you recognize it or you do not recognize the power that you contain, it doesn't invalidate the power that resides in you. Whether you become great or you become small, you become poor or you become rich, it does not invalidate or negate the fact that power resides in you. What you do with your power is what makes the difference. Leo Buscaglia said that your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. And we have established that the power that you contain is actually your talent. Everyone has been given a talent. What you do with your talent is what makes a difference. If you develop it into skills and develop it into a product and service, it's your choice. Wherever you are today is your choice. Do not blame anyone. No witch, no wizard, nobody, no friend, nobody. You need to look within yourself in spite of the limitations of your past and say, I am responsible. Now, when you do that, you position yourself in a place where you can begin to design the future you want, starting from where you are. The gifts and the calling of God is without repentance, which means the talent that you are having inside of you is without repentance. And increased response to use. That if you fail to use your talent, it will be given over to someone else who can use it. Not that literally it will be taken away. But because you have refused to arise and do something with what has been deposited in you, you will see someone who you consider to be less intelligent, but who has answered the call of nature and taking responsibilities for the talent he has been given, grow his talent into a product and service that the entire world can use. So, today we begin to look at another aspect of releasing your personal power, which is the roadmap to power. And the roadmap to power is your routine and your ritual. Your ritual. So today I'm going to be concentrating on your routine and your ritual, because it's not enough for you to have power. It's not enough for you to make up your mind to develop your talent into skill. Yesterday we looked at talent management, right? One thing you need to do is the power of your ritual and your routine. That what do you do daily? It's been said that professionals do daily what amateurs do occasionally. But if you see people, sportsmen like Cristiano Ronaldo, Usain Bolt, and the top guys who have mastered their games, nobody wakes them up to say, go jogging. Nobody wakes them up to say, go to the gym. Nobody tells them, oh, don't eat this, don't eat that. They understand the discipline that is required for their body to be in shape, or else they will be out of touch. So you see some sportsmen, they go for holiday and they become over bloated. A case in point as a guy called Ronaldo the Liam. One of the things that made his career end abruptly, apart from injury, is the fact that he put on weight and his weight became uncontrollable. So he couldn't run and move at the pace he was moving before. And that affected his performance. That if you stop your schedule, if you stop your routine, it would affect where you go. Show me your routine, I will tell you what your future looks like. The first question I will ask you today is, if you change nothing about your life today, if you change nothing about the way you live your 24 hours, where are you likely going to end your life if you change nothing? Will you end your life in stardom, or you will remain small? That if you change nothing about your belief, you change nothing about how you wake up, how you sleep, how you go to work, how you think, if you change nothing, where will you end? If you do not change your belief, if you do not change your lifestyle, where are you going to end? It was a question I asked myself 5 years ago. And I concluded that if I change nothing about my life daily, the way I live my life, I would end up being average. I will still be above the normal within my space, where I live and among my peers. I'll be above normal because my mediocrity was already excellence, being clapped for within my space, but my mediocrity remains mediocrity as it concerns global scheme of things. So I concluded I will be a local champion. So what do I need to do to be a global icon? I needed to change my beliefs and I needed to change my routine. Now I changed my routine and I'm loving the result. I'm not there yet, but the fact that I opened myself to be flexible, to challenge my thoughts, to challenge my beliefs, to challenge what I do daily, it changed the game for me. John C. Maxwell said, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Because the secret of your success is found in your daily routine." I'll take that again. John C. Maxwell said, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily." That is, the secret of your success is found in your daily routine. That show me a successful man, and I will show you someone with an insane routine and ritual. That a lot of the guys that you want to be like, if you're willing to pay the price, you will get the result. Which is why I do not just celebrate success. I want to know the process and the system and the ritual the person has embraced that is producing the success. Because like Moses, who knew the ways of God, the children of Israel knew the acts of God. That those who knew the ways will produce the acts. Show me the way and I'll produce the act. If you show me the acts, I will just keep clapping and I will live in awe of what is happening. But I don't want to live in awe. I want to produce the result. To produce the result is not responsive to people laying hands on you, and many of the gymnastics people do. You need to understand the discipline of the result, and if you subject yourself to the same processing, you will likely produce the same outcome because success is replicable. Are you with me? Now, here are the fundamentals. There is no greatness without a great routine. There is no greatness without a great routine. There is nobody in this world who is producing success who doesn't have an insane routine. When we were going to create what is now regarded as the only certification program for family life professionals in Africa and in diaspora, one of the things we did was to go study 40 successful marriages who have passed the age of, who have passed 40 years and above, to understand what they did daily that produced the results for marital success. And by observing them, we took notes and we built a model that, people are now replicating and they're getting the same result. So there is no greatness without a great routine. Number two, every time you seek greatness without an intentional routine, you set up yourself for accidental success. There is what is called accidental leader, a leader who stumbled into stardom. It does not last because it's going to collapse. Why? It does not have the discipline to master the success. That is the only reason people win lottery, go back to being poor within the next 1 year. Why? Because the discipline to manage the magnitude of money they won accidentally is not there and it's not sustainable. So every time you seek greatness without an intentional routine, you set up yourself for accidental success. So it's not enough for you to pray, God, make me great. God, take me global. What does it take to stay there? Because your talent can take you to stardom, Your character and your routine is what sustains you, because stardom can destroy you. Stardom is a magnifier of your strength and weakness. We have seen guys who attained stardom and they impregnated 20 girls in less than 2 years. You know why? Because what they have been doing at the lower level became magnified at a higher level. Number three, routine makes giant and routine keeps giant. Ritual and routine makes giant and routine keeps. So I was looking at my life and I remember that there was a time I was waking up 3 a.m. every day, right? And I would read, 40 pages of a book every day. That was my routine. And as a Christian, I would do 20 chapters of the Bible every day. And I said to myself, if I do this, let me check what my life will look like within the next 1 year. I read 40 pages of a book every day before breakfast. In exactly 1 year, my thought was superior. My thought was ahead of my. Then I was 21 or thereabout, and people thought I was 40 because of the kind of wisdom I exhibited. Right. So I kept that routine, but I had to change it slightly. I realized I was sleeping less. So I was doing 4 hours of sleep every day, which wasn't good for my health. Right. So your routine makes giants and routine keeps giants. When Africans hear work smart, they get excited about working smart because they think that working smart is the absence of working hard. It's not correct. Working smart, there is no human being who works smart who is not a hard worker. Show me one, then I'll tell you a joker. Right. The man that brought retire rich, retire young to Africa, Robert Kiyosaki, is still working. It's still at work. But many of us were caught up in that web, retire rich, retire young, because retirement meant to us absence of work. But there is nobody. In fact, it has been proven that people who retire and do nothing, they died within the next 5 years. That has been statistically proven by data. So routine makes giants and routine keeps giants. You want to become a giant, you need to embrace the routine that is required for giant. The level of food, the level of discipline, the level of rest, the level of workout that is required to become a world heavyweight champion is different from welterweight, is different from bottom weight, is different from featherweight, is totally different. Different sets of discipline. If you embrace the discipline of welterweight or featherweight and you go and fight heavyweight, you're likely going to get killed. Show me a global icon that has totally fallen off the cliff of greatness. I will show you a man who stopped paying attention to the routine that brought him to stardom. Now, a case in point is a case in the Bible of King David, who, when kings go to war, he decided to change his routine and stay at home. Now, while staying at home, he was on the top. He was at the what do you call it now? The penthouse of his palace, and he saw a lady that was having a bath. And what did he do? He called that lady because he had the power of a king, slept with her, she got pregnant, she killed her husband. Why? He changed his routine. If he had been at war, he would never have been, at the penthouse. If he had not been at the penthouse, he would never have seen the lady that was having a bath. If he had not seen that lady, he would not have been moved to call her to sleep with her. If he had not slept with her, he would never have impregnated her. If he had not impregnated her, he would not have seen the need to cover up his sin by killing her husband. And if he had not done that, he would not have become a murderer. Do you understand that every time you go out of your shadow, you set up yourself for a fall? So the moment you stop paying attention to the discipline that took you to stardom, so for example, you had a huge shape, you were not taking wine, you were not smoking, you were not doing drugs. You were not eating anyhow, and that was what gave you the body, that gave you the intelligence, that gave you, the stardom or the success you have achieved. If you now get to that success and you start drinking, smoking, and you totally change your outlook, your indiscipline is going to wreck you eventually. Your routine is the behavior code that takes you in the direction of your destination. And if you get the code right, success is simply an effect. Stop praying for success. You embrace the discipline of success because your action is a bigger prayer than the words of your mouth. that integrity has been defined as the alignment of your words, thoughts, and actions. If you embrace a certain discipline, it's also a prayer point to say, God, make me great, because your action is a prayer. So your routine is the behavioral code that takes you in the direction of your destination. And if you get the code right, simply success is simply an effect. Now, the bane of many is not understanding the routine that must deliver the success they seek. So they want to be great, but they do not understand the ritual they must embrace every day, because that ritual looks like work, it looks like pain. So they would rather sit on their bed and while away and sleep 7 hours, 8 hours. There is nothing wrong with that. And when they wake up, they will eat, no workout, no exercise, no thinking, no reading, no observation, no meditation, no imagination, no initiative, nothing. But they embrace prayer, and not prayer, they embrace the activity of prayer, because prayer is different from the activity of prayer. The activity of prayer is what many of us brag about. I prayed for 6 hours. So what happened after 6 hours? Because if you pray for 6 hours, which meant you were in 6 hour meeting with the divine power, and you have left the place of prayer, you have no clarity about your life, you have remained perpetually broke, perpetually down, then you need to check yourself and ask yourself, have I embraced prayer, or have embraced the activity of prayer? We brag so much about the activity of prayer because we do not know that prayer involves the alignment of what you say and what you do. So we take ourselves off, we invalidate our prayer by our action, right? That when your action contradicts your profession, self-sabotage is what results. So the bane of many is that we do not understand the routine that must deliver the success we seek. If you get the routine wrong, it's almost impossible to get the result right, except by divine providence. But God is not also a waster of resources, right? That once you don't embrace the routine, everybody who reads the Bible, that it will say that Jesus will go out early in the morning to go pray and meditate. What were the things he went to do? Did we bother to study those activities? We just think he went to shout and scream. No, I believe part of what he did was meditation. Part of what he did was observation. That many of us cannot even observe our environment. That is why someone says being poor, P-O-O-R, means passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. That when you lack the capacity to embrace your environment, internalize what is happening around you, interpret the needs that is demanded around you, and provide solution to that need, then your capacity to become rich, becomes a long distance, right? That if you get the routine wrong, it's almost impossible to get the result right. You want to become the world heavyweight champion in boxing, but you eat very well every day and you do not work out. You do not go to the gym and subject your muscles and subject them to the rigors of discipline so that you can boost your energy level. You do not hire a coach and to understand how to master your opponent, and you begin to pray, God, make me world heavyweight champion. You are not going to last. Now, I love the quote that says, you can never expect to succeed in work on the days you feel like. Do you understand? You can never succeed if you only put in work on the days you feel like. Professionals do daily what amateurs do occasionally. So if you just feel like today, I feel like reading, and you read. Tomorrow, I feel like sleeping, and you sleep. Next tomorrow, I feel like sleeping, and you sleep, right? And tomorrow you say, okay. I have a presentation tomorrow. Let me study today. You are not going anywhere, because even your body will be confused about you, because your body does not exactly know where you want to go, right? So your body feels you are unserious. So your body will begin to instruct you and say, today too, let me also break down. So you say, leg is paining me, so let me just sleep and take it easy. Before you know it, 3 days has been deployed, taking it easy, and you realize that in no time you will end nowhere. You can never expect to succeed if you only put in work on the days you feel like. The champions don't have to feel like it, they do what is required. Apostle Paul of Tarsus said, I put my body under, I make it obey me. That your body is a bad master. If you make your body your master, it will go nowhere. Left to my body, I feel I should be in bed right now, right? Left to my body, I should just sleep like everybody, and wake up like everybody and bring food for me in bed, and lay in bed and watch movies and have lunch, continue the movies, and have dinner and continue the movie and sleep. And money will just flow in. That's what. But is that what my body requires for me to get to where I need to get to? The answer is no. My body requires movement. I need to take 10,000 steps every day, intentional steps. I need to meditate every day. I need to visualize every day. I need to get on the street once it's 4 a.m. to work out. I need to read what I need to read, study what I need to study. Every day, I study one country of the world and the family life system in that country to better appreciate the country. Yesterday, I was doing Bosnia and Herzegovina. Today is Botswana, right? So if you ask me about Benin Republic, about Andorra, Argentina, those are nations I have covered within the space of the spirit, right? Nobody gave me that task. I had to give myself that task. Why? Because I'm working to become a family life professional that can function in any nation, in any culture of the world. Do you understand? Now, you cannot just wake up and say, God, give me that power. No, in response to your routine and your ritual. So your routine and ritual, one, is the sure route to delivering the results you desire. So what is your result? Your result must create your routine. It's like life and style. Your life, must be determined by your life must instruct the style you must adopt, and the style you adopt must be able to deliver your life. Do you understand? So your routine is the sure route to delivering the results you desire. If you don't embrace that route, it will take, it's like when you sit on the ocean in a boat, right? And you do nothing. The current will take you to where you don't want to go. Even if you pray, God, don't let me end up drowning, you are going to drown. Because until you show the direction you want to go and instruct the boat in the direction by paddling, you are not going to go anywhere. So your routine is the route that delivers the success the result you desire. So if you show me your result, I can look at your routine and tell you this routine will definitely take you here. If your routine cannot take you to the result you desire, you need to change that routine today. Number two, your routine is the prophecy that points you to your greatness. That every time you embrace the discipline of your routine is a prophecy that God, make me great, make me great, make me great. Seest thou a man that is diligent in his business is going to stand before kings and not ordinary men. And only the hand of the diligent bears rule. That the moment you become diligent at what you do, to become the best at what you do, success becomes inevitable. So your action, your routine is actually a prophecy. Your routine is the action part of the prayers that birth answers, right? Is the action part of the prayers that birth answers. So you need to understand that your routine is actually a prayer in itself because it's the action. I've told you before that your action is a prayer. So you see a man, who sleeps around with prostitutes. He's also praying that let me not last, let me not last. That's the prayer he's praying. Or you see a man, who wakes up in the morning and he subjects his body to exercise, and he subjects his mind to positive affirmation and positive imagination. Is a man who is crying out that, I want serenity and wellness within me. It's a prayer point, and there is no way the universe will not answer that prayer because it's been you have subjected it to repetition, and repetition is the mother of all skills. Your routine is the habit you master that will eventually master you, right? You form your habits, and your habits form you eventually, right? So your routine is the habit you master that will eventually master you. So what you do daily right now, is this something you want to master you? So I tell people, Even when I sleep at 12, once it's 2 a.m., my body wakes up. Whether I will now sleep back, it's another ballgame entirely, but my body will wake up. So what I try to do is to sleep early. By 10 o'clock, I hit my bed, because by 2, my body will wake up, right? So your routine is the habit you master that will eventually master you. Your routine is your prison or your palace protocol that will land you in either of the two destinations. Your routine or your palace, your prison, or your palace protocol that will land you in either of the two destinations. You can be in prison to, you can be in the prison of your routine, or you can be in the palace of your routine. But whichever way, your routine and your ritual will either take you to the prison of your life, or it will take you to the palace of your life. That you can plan your way out of poverty, right? You can plot your way out of mediocrity. You can plot your way out of indiscipline. You can plot your way out of average and normal life. You can plot your way into excellence. You can plot your way into stardom. You can actually create a routine and a ritual that will take you there. That there is no way you will stand still without if you are already running within you. A lot of people standing still without, they are standing still within. There is movement within you. There is no way your body will remain normal. That's why I love, that verse that says, from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom suffers abnormality, and only the abnormal are pressing into it. You will never find any global icon that is a normal human being. None. That wakes up at 10 a.m. and sleeps at 4 p.m. and it does nothing throughout the day. You will never find one, right? So you need to understand that there is the discipline and the ritual required for where you want to go. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? It's the difference between interest and commitment. So you need to ask yourself, are you the result you want, or are you committed? Many of us are interested. We are not committed, because commitment is what gets you off your bed to begin to do what is required that you do. Commitment is what makes you embrace the discipline of your ritual and the discipline of your routine. That's what commitment does. I love this funny quote. It says, my morning routine includes 10 minutes of me simply sitting on my bed and thinking of how tired I am. Isn't that the routine of many of us? My morning routine includes 10 minutes of me sitting on my bed and thinking of how tired I am. Oh, I am so tired. Let me sleep back, Jerry. Right? And you sleep back, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, so shall poverty overtake you like a bandit. So when people ask me, praise, how come you charge so high, in your profession, right? And you are in Africa, that you even charge more than some people live in the in the developed world. And I say, well, it's a function of what I've known and discovered in the right, that I know the fastest way for you to get results, and many of my clients know that they get the result that I say they're going to get by working with them. So they are willing to pay for my time for me to work with them about their result. My morning routine includes 10 minutes of me sitting on my bed and thinking of how tired I am. That is the routine of lazy people. So here are common routine questions that can help you this morning. Number one, what power have you been given? This is a question we have asked every day here. What power have you been given? So you check your inner man. By now, for those of you who have followed this series, you already know the answer. What talents do you contain? And I said, some talents are for a reason, some are for a season, and some are for a lifetime. You need to spot the difference between the three. Whether your talent is for a reason, whether it's for a season, or whether it's for a lifetime. If you make into a lifetime a talent that is for a season, you are going to miss out. So if you are 40, you cannot become a professional footballer anymore, except adult footballers, right? You cannot function at the level of Ronaldo and Messi because you are past that age. Do you understand? So what power have you been given? That's one. Number two, what is the highest expression of the power that you have? This was a question we asked 2 days ago. That all things being equal, if you put in the level of work that is required and you process your talent, what is the highest expression of your talent? And I gave the example of the footballer. the highest expression of his footballing talent is not winning the the World Footballer of the Year. No, the highest expression of that footballing talent is that he becomes an influential and he becomes an influencer that can shape culture, that he can actually from football become the president of his country, depending on the ritual and the plan he has made for his life. George Opongwe of Liberia moved from the football field to become the president of his nation within a space of some years, right? If you check his routine as a footballer, he had been bailing out the country from their debt and from their war. Do you understand? Now, by the time he left football, he embraced politics, went back to school, joined the Senate, he learned the ropes, and today is the president of Liberia. So the highest expression of the power you have is not just being in your sector. If you're an actress or you're an artist and people watch you on TV, the highest expression of your talent is not red carpet. Red carpet is the lowest level. If you miss it and you miss your season, you'd realize that your season will pass you by. You must know when to migrate from red carpet to becoming taken seriously as an influencer who is fighting for the people's fighting the people's battle, and who has become a mouthpiece for the people using your status. Now, if you maximize that very well and you dovetail into politics, people are going to vote for you. So the highest expression of your celebrity status is not red carpet. The highest expression of your celebrity status is governance. You need to understand that. So what is the highest expression of the power that you have? You need to answer that question. Then that takes me to number 3. Once you have answered questions 1 and 2, what daily activities must I create that is sure to take me to where I truly want to be? I mean, I was studying the routine of Cristiano Ronaldo, very insane, right? Pastor ever said he went to Ronaldo's house after training to go hang out with him, and he realized that he went into another training because he had a football field in a sitting room, and they kept playing games. When it was time to eat, he ate a bit of vegetables and salad, and he was very upset to say, what kind of thing is this? Why? He said he will never visit him again. But that was the Cristiano Ronaldo's routine. He's not going to break it for you. You are the one that must adapt to his routine. Do you understand? So what daily activities must I create that is sure to take me to where I truly want to be? Not that it is not often what you like to do, but so your routine may not be what comes naturally to you. For example, I don't like to go jog every morning. I don't like to go meditate every morning, but that is what I need to do. I don't like to visualize every morning or to talk to customers every morning or to churn out content every morning. I don't like it, but it is what I need to do. I have to force my body to embrace the discipline of my routine, that my body has now fallen in love with it. That your routine will look like pain, but when you look at the pleasure that the pain will produce and you embrace it, in no time, your body adjusts to it, that it begins to feel awkward when you don't do this. 127 days, I have sustained this show every day, teaching new stuff, researching every day to be able to bring you the best. Do you understand? Now, my friend sent me a cutout of an article I wrote in 2006 for This Day newspaper in Nigeria. And I laughed and I said to him, since the year 2003 or 2004, I have written something every day. I have opened my laptop every day to pen out my thoughts. So the 127 days that I'm doing right now, I prepared for it over 10 years. Do you understand? So what daily activities must you create that is sure to take you to where you truly want to be? If your routine or your ritual require you to jog 10 times around your estate, don't reduce it to 2. If it requires 20,000 steps every day, don't reduce it to 5,000. And don't be comfortable with 2,000 steps and say, I feel tired today. No, you need to complete it. If it requires you to study different countries and different economic process, you need to study it. If it requires you to study one country per day, you need to study it. If it requires you to generate content every day, you need to generate the content. So you need to ask, what is the discipline of your stardom, of the result you seek? What routine is necessary? Now, once you create that routine, it will look like pain. So you ask the question, what pain do I feel looking at the routine, and what pleasure is at the end of the pain? That was what I did. I look at who I'm capable of becoming. Becoming an icon that everybody wants to listen to. I'm capable of becoming number one in my sector across the globe. That within, when it comes to family life sphere, I become the school of thought that generates content for everyone to use. That is where I'm going, right? So I had to embrace the pain of my routine to create the pleasure that I seek. Now, no pain, no gain holds very true. That the path to life is the path to death. Except a grain of corn falls to the ground and dies, it does not abide. That if you're not willing to die to your flesh, die to your opinion, die to your beliefs, die to what you think is right, you may not have your life. He that seeks to save his life will lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake will find it. So what pain do you feel looking at that routine, and what pleasure is at the end of the pain? So if you are obese and you need to drop the weight, right? You will look painful to go out jogging, right? In fact, you may fall sick if you start gymming the first day. But if you embrace it and you keep it in another 60 days, it would have become a part of your life that you can't do without. What becomes pain, what looks painful becomes pleasurable because your body feels better, right? Who will hold me accountable is the next question. You need to find one or two, three people who will hold you accountable every day, who you will report to. Then what is the effect of not doing it? What is the effect of not doing it? Earlier this year, I was having a session with people, over 40 people in class, called goal scoring. I was teaching them the concept I've developed on goal scoring, which is different from goal setting. And I realized that when we were doing a review of their previous 1 year, one of the things they never did in their goal setting was they did not factor the consequence of not achieving their goals. A lot of us want to score goals, but we do not know the consequence of not scoring the goal. Let me ask you today, if the consequence of your goal this year is that 1 million people will die because you didn't meet your goal, what will you do differently? You would realize that your routine will totally change, right? It becomes a matter of life and death. So let's say for every day that you don't make a million naira, 1 million people will die that are very dear to you. What will you do differently? You would realize that suddenly your routine will change, your lifestyle will change, everything will change. A lot of us who don't make money is because someone is funding your, for lack of a better word, somebody is funding it. If nobody is funding it, let's say you have nobody on this planet, that there is no hope of anybody sending you money, paying your house rent, what will you do differently? What you will do differently is what you are supposed to be doing. If you are largessing, enjoying because someone is paying the bills, you are destroying that person and you are destroying yourself, right? What is the consequence of not making money every day? What is the consequence of not meeting your financial target? Who will likely die? What will likely go wrong, right? If you don't meet your target, if you subject yourself to that pressure to say 1,000 people will die every time I don't meet my target, you will realize that you will do something differently. The same you says, I don't like to talk to people, I don't like rejection, because you know that if you don't go and be rejected, 1,000 people will die. You become bold and you get into the marketing and sales that you hate to create the pleasure you want because you need to save your loved ones. Do you understand? But you don't wait for people to die before you now embrace the discipline of what you need to do. That's what people do under pressure is actually what should be the. But because someone is funding, for lack of a better word, their irresponsibility, they are not willing to go out of their way to make happen what needs to happen. So what are the things you need to do today? Number one, create your wake up ritual, right? When you wake up, don't just wake up anyhow. Wake up and say, oh, wow, it's another day. Praise the King has woken up and I'm so powerful, fearfully and wonderfully made. You need to create that feeling of a giant has woken up. Let the universe know that has woken up. Do you understand? Don't just wake up anyhow and be very sluggish. Wake up with zest, with energy, with passion. So you need to have a wake up ritual. Number two, start your day with your daily gratitude energy. Now there's what we call vibration and energy. The highest form of vibration is gratitude. So what I recommend for people, when you wake up in the morning, pick your journal. This is my gratitude journal, right? What you do is write 10 things to be grateful for in the previous day. 10 things to be grateful for in the previous day. It helps you count your blessing. The average human being have more of a memory of pain than the memory of success. So when we succeed, we never savor the success. We never look at it and exaggerate it and think through it and regurgitate over it. We quickly move on. But when we fail or we make a mistake, we exaggerate the pain. We look at it, we beat ourselves, we never move on. That's why a lot of us are likely very prone to depression, because we spend most times, thinking about our failures than our success. But actually, the energy of life is you spend more time thinking of your success and creating a narrative for your failure, where failure is no longer failure. Failure is feedback. So start your day with your gratitude energy, wherein you open your note and you write 10 things in the previous day. Let me tell you what will happen. In 5 days, you will begin to struggle for what you write for. But what that will now make you do is, it will now make you do 10 deeds intentionally in your everyday life. You will look for 10 positive things to do, because you must write grateful for. Now, that is the way to live life on a full crush of energy, on the crush of serenity, on the frequency of pleasure, on the frequency of higher vibration. So you get your day with your gratitude journal, gratitude energy, 10 things to be grateful for. Number 3, set up your power work and set the atmosphere. So when you finish that, your gratitude energy, get into your street. If you live in an estate, start your power walk. If you can't get out of your house, get on YouTube and look for walk aerobics. Look for walk aerobics. You will find all kinds of videos that you can use. I use several ones, or you can do dance aerobics. But I get on my street because I live in an estate that is, I get on my power walk. I follow the routine that Anthony Robbins created many years ago, which is take 4 breaths in and take 4 breaths out. It's a daily routine for me. So I do things like, I do that walking up and down. So set up your power walk and set the atmosphere. Things as you take your power walk. Praise is greater. Praise is stronger. Praise is powerful. Praise is greatness. Praise is powerful. You can say that over and over again for about 10 minutes, right? Or 30 minutes, depending on how long you want to walk. I have a sports watch that tracks how many steps I'm taking. Then number 4, create your mental, your intellectual intercourse ritual, right? Which is basically a mental gym. Now, because of where I want to go, I have selected people live every morning. So when I wake up, it's either when I'm doing my power walk, I strap my headset and I'm listening to a book. I finish at least a book every day, right? Or I'm listening to one of my icons. So I listen to Jack Ma, I listen to Richard Branson, I listen to Warren Buffett, I listen to Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, I look for what I have downloaded, all kinds of things on YouTube, their interviews. So, because those are people I want to be like. Do you understand? So you need to understand that every time you engage the icons you want to be like, you are engaging them in the mental intercourse. There is no way you read their materials or listen to their materials that you don't begin to think like them. That the difference between you and Jeff Bezos is the quality of your mind. If they will do a mental transfusion right now and we exchange his mind for his mind, you will begin to produce his result and it will start to produce your result. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus, which means a mindset can be developed. It's called mastermind. There can be mental transfusion. You need to understand that you can take on the mind of a successful person and replicate the mindset and produce the result. So I tell people, look for 5 icons you respect, you want to be like. Don't limit them to religious leaders alone, except your field is religion, right? If your field is science, look for 5 models, 5 of the best in your sector right now, and create an intellectual or mental intercourse or mental gym. What have they written? What have they taught? What books have they written that you can listen to or you can watch every day? So you need to create that. Number 5, visualize your day and run your meetings. Visualize your day and run your meetings. Before you go out into your day, shoot a picture of what you want your day to look like. You want to go for some meeting, right? You need to shoot that image in your mind. What do you focus on and what do you say no to? So if I'm going for a pitch, I shoot a video in my mind. I see what I say. To me, I see me collect the check. I see me move back home, and I'm celebrating because it is done. Now I infuse my feelings into it, because the moment your feeling feels that it has happened, it has happened. Things are created twice, first within, then without. A lot of people that your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is simulated. That if you simulate the success you want consistently, success becomes a way of life for you. Why? Because your body system is a power of attraction. It begins to anticipate good. It begins to anticipate that good things will happen to you that day, and you will be shocked. You will get calls. You will get jobs that you did not bid for, because good feeling attracts good reality into your life. When you feel good, you attract goodness into your life. The same way, when you have the energy of hatred, you attract hate into your life. When you anticipate failure, failure comes to you. It's the energy of life. You are an energy, and everything you feel per time is your reality that you're going to bring into your life. Job says, what I fear the most has come upon me. A lot of the things you are avoiding are the things you attract. So when I see someone who says to me, Praise, I don't want a man that will cheat on me, that is the man they're going to attract, because your mind does not have the capacity to process don't, I won't, it picks the next available word, action word, and it magnetizes it into your life. I don't want to be poor. You are going to attract poverty. Instead of looking for what to run away from, what exactly do you want? So if I say, shoot a video around, I don't want to be poor, match that statement, I don't want to be poor, with an image, you will realize that poverty will still show up in your picture. But if I say, I want to be wealthy, match an image with that, poverty will not show up. You will see affluence. It's the same way. It's the energy called away from and towards motivation. What exactly do you want? Forget what you don't want. What exactly do you want? So visualize your day and run your meetings in your head. It must be part of your daily routine. Every great man I have met, they do that consistently, which is why they meditate. They do a bit of yoga, but you can do meditation wherein you visualize what you want. You feel the feeling as if it has come to pass, as if it has happened, and you anticipate that good has happened to you, and you get into gratitude. Number 6, you get into what we call your bespoke incantation or declaration or affirmation, wherein you write what you want to happen. In the present tense, you write them out and you say them with your energy. The difference between confession and incantation is incantation engages the totality of your body. It's consistent repetition that produces a magical effect. So for confession, I can say, oh, I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. I am strong. I am wealthy. That is confession. In confession, I can be distracted. In incantation, you are not distracted. I am the best of my kind. Praise has woken up today. Good things will happen to me. The universe conspire to bless me. As I step out, the whole world is looking up for me. I am blessed when I go out. I am the best of my kind. New thoughts, new ideas, new revelation come to me. It becomes a usable product, usable format that the whole world wants to buy. Everyone wants to listen to me, and they pay me a premium for my service. As I step out in honor. I step out in greatness. The whole world wants to listen to me, and I move from step to step, from glory to glory on the higher plane. I vibrate at the highest level of divine energy, and everything I need comes to me. I am one with the divine. Now, that is an example of incantation. You first need to write it out. If you have written it out, voice it into your phone and strap your headset and repeat it every day at an intense level, what begins to happen is your body internalizes it, and the universe begins to look for opportunities to bring into force what you have declared. Let me shock you. You do not know what people are saying against you when you are asleep. You do not know the negativity that the universe is saying against you when you go around. So if you don't set the atmosphere by yourself, all kinds of things can happen to you, right? I have found that many of the great people, this is part of their daily ritual, and you cannot be missing in action, right? Some people call it command your morning, whatever. What I've called this is the power of your declaration or the power of your incantation. You need to do that daily. It must be part of your ritual because you are creating the world you want with the words of your mouth. The sound you create in your life can determine your reality. That you can change your world by the words of your mouth and by the power of your incantation. And number 7, get into gratitude. Get into gratitude. Be grateful for your legs that carry you. Be grateful for your hands that can work. Be grateful for your nose. Be grateful for every part of your body, your cardiac, your pancreas. Be grateful for your blood vessel. Be grateful for all the cells in your body. Be grateful. Don't take your leg for granted because your leg can give way. Don't take your mouth for granted. Don't take your eyes for granted. Be grateful for everything. Surround yourself with gratitude. Now, all these things I have highlighted are activities you can devote 2 hours of your day to engage in, or maybe 90 minutes from when you wake up, then you step into your day. Trust me, if you do this every day for 1 year, you will be 10 times better than you are guaranteed. As a matter of fact, let me promise you, if you do this for 3 months, right, you will be 10 times better than where you are right now. Your thoughts would have changed. Your reality would have changed. What you attract would have changed. I was reading about a man called DeHalo. DeHalo is a fund manager in America. Now, I read that if you are not worth 50 billion US dollars, he will never, if you are not worth 5 billion US dollars, he will never work with you. And that if you don't have 100 million US dollars to invest, he will never have anything to do with you. As a matter of fact, he went ahead to say that the guy is coaching China on what to do with their money. How can as soon as I finished reading it, I got his book and I asked myself, how can a man be coaching a nation as big as China on how to use their money? Does he have 2 heads? How can a man say if you are not worth 5 billion US dollars, he will not work with you? If you don't have $100 million to invest, he will not invest with you. What does he know? Does he have 2 heads? Does he have 3 heads? He's just one man. What do I need to know to get to that level? And I say, you know what? If you don't have XYZ to pay, I cannot work with you. If I work with you, it will be CSR, corporate social responsibility. I would rather do it for free than to charge lower than what I'm worth. Right? Now, imagine if I didn't encounter that man. It changed my reality to say there are people and there are people on this planet. Right? I was somewhere working with one of my clients yesterday, and some of my mentees were around, and they were hearing the amount my client was calling, and they were shocked to say, wow, how can you have a client like this? And I laughed. And I said, well, it's the power of your competence and your expertise. When people begin to, that client is not based in Nigeria, right? When people begin to call some heavy figures that want you to ask yourself, are you still on this planet? Now, that is what happens. When you surround yourself with people that call heavy numbers, you begin to aspire to earn heavy numbers. You attract the energy into your life if you get into gratitude. Than when you have all the people who call 10 kobo, 1 kobo, life is tough. They are creating negative energy around you, and you will begin to have negative reality. If you change your association, you change your atmosphere, you will change your reality. I love what Metal Hemingway said. A daily ritual is a way of saying, I am voting for myself. I am taking care of myself. I'll take that again, and I'll end there today. A daily ritual is a way of saying, I am voting for myself. I am taking care of myself. Guys, vote for yourself today. Take care of yourself. Create the ritual and the routine that is necessary for where you want to go. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't compare yourself with other people. Success is not what you have achieved. Success is what you have achieved compared to what you could have achieved. Choose yourself, vote for yourself, become the best version of you today, embrace the discipline of your ritual, and you will see success and fortune will smile on you. People will think you are lucky. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Performance is usually inevitable. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope I have helped you today. Please go ahead, use this, listen to it over and over and over again, and you will see what your life will become. And remember, that I honor you, I respect you. You can transform your world and you can change your reality starting from today. Have a fantastic